Coming up on our show today, we have some wonderful dogs and cats that are available for adoption at the Edmond Animal Shelter. And we'll also be talking about a permanent way to identify your dog or cat in case they ever get lost. Stay tuned.
Edmond Animal Services is more than a shelter. Walk through its doors and you'll find a helpful staff and loving animals waiting for their forever home. Get Acquainted rooms let you visit with any one of the available dogs and cats. Friendly staff is more than happy to answer any questions you have about adoption or their other services. Let's find a home for these wonderful animals, for pets' sake. Until one has loved an animal, a part of one's soul remains unawakened. Anatole France.
I just want to introduce you to my new pal Macbeth here. He is a pit bull mix, about 2 years old, and he's been here since April. But he is just a sweetheart, just as precious as he could be, and look at this little face. Who can resist such a precious little face? All the volunteers here at the shelter really love Macbeth, and they would love to see him find a forever home. My pal John is about to introduce you to another one of the great dogs here at the Edmond Animal Shelter.
Here's a great little dog that weighs about 9 to 11 pounds, and as you can see, she's a black dog with part Dachshund mix, and she's about 10 years old, and she would be perfect for a person who would like a nice lap dog and a beautiful companion, and all she knows is love and acceptance, and she'd love to go home with you. And she's been sitting in my lap for the last 30 minutes, and she needs to go home as soon as possible. And somebody needs in Edmond, Oklahoma, or Guthrie, or wherever, they need to come out here and get this dog and take her home, and not only have a friend, but a loving partner for the rest of its life.
Here's another great dog available at the shelter.
I would like to introduce you to Harriet, my new friend. She is a 7-month-old medium long hair tabby, and she is just the friendliest little baby I have ever seen. She's been loving on me, and she'll climb up on your shoulder and give you kisses. Oh, somebody's got to take this kitty. She's too precious. She is just full of love and snuggles, and she needs a forever home.
The animal shelter has many more cats ready for a forever home.
Come up here so we see your face and not your bed. Hi, kitty kitty. Hello, how are you? Oh, aren't you sweet? Giving kisses.
Hi, I'm Officer Kenny Stevens with Edmond Animal Services, and I want to talk to you about the importance of putting identification on your animals. Each year, our shelter takes in hundreds of stray animals, most of which don't have any type of identification at all. Less than 1/3 of these strays are reunited with their owners. Since the first of this year alone, we have taken in almost 900 stray dogs and cats, and less than 300 have gone home. We need to do better than that, and here's how. An ID tag on a pet's collar is a great and quick way to reunite a pet with its owner. They're inexpensive and can be bought at pet stores. Also, an updated rabies tag from your vet is another way to identify your pet and get them home. However, if your pet has a way of losing his collar, you might consider a microchip. Microchips are a permanent means of identifying your pet, and they're great if you don't keep a collar on your pet at all times. When veterinarians and shelters like ours find pets, we make it a practice to scan for microchips. When we scan, it gives us a unique number so that the microchip manufacturer can give us the contact information on the registered owner. We actually offer microchipping here at our shelter. It's a quick procedure, just like when your pet receives a vaccination. The tiny chip is the size of a piece of rice and is inserted between the shoulder blades. The cost is only $25 or just $20 if you have multiple pets. Proceeds go to benefit Paws for Life, our nonprofit partner who helps fund unique medical expenses for animals at our shelter. No one expects their pet to go missing, but I see it happen more times than I like to count. Somebody accidentally leaves a gate open, a pet sneaks out an open door, or many other things can occur, and your dog or cat becomes lost. If your pet goes missing, don't let it become one of the hundreds of unclaimed animals in our shelter with an uncertain future. Just because it never happened before doesn't mean it never will. And we want to be able to reunite you with your best friend if it does. Don't delay. ID your pet today.
Our happy adoption tale comes from Brittany Eddins on how she adopted her cat Oliver from the Edmond Animal Shelter. She writes, I had some family in town and they have 2 young girls, so we decided to go to the animal shelter to see the animals and pet them. I will just state now that I was not looking for a pet to adopt at the time. In the main foyer was a lone cage with this beautiful long-haired cat. You had given him the name Fabio, which just cracked me up. As my family continued to look around the shelter, I just stayed with Fabio and pet him, and he loved it so much. After we left, all I could think about was Fabio. I told my roommate about him and my boyfriend, and continually told my parents, who had seen him the day we went. One day, my roommate and I were running some errands, and she said, let's go see if he's still there. So we go in, and my heart just stops. The cage he was in was empty. We looked around, and Fabio was nowhere to be found. I walked back by his cage that only had a little brown bed in it. Suddenly, I noticed the bed looked abnormally lumped up in the middle. I reached my hand in and lifted up the bed, and there he was. So I adopted him right there on the spot. My heart knew we were meant to be together. After taking him home and renaming him Oliver, I realized he got along really well with my dog Scooter and my roommate's cat Emery. He wasn't so sure about me. After a week of him hiding under the bed, I was afraid I was going to have to return him. But soon after, he came out from under the bed and is always at my hip. He now happily spends his days looking out the window and taking naps with my dog. When I get home, I get meowed at until I pet him and fill his food bowl. He's the friendliest cat you will ever meet. He never bites or gives you the typical cat attitude. All he wants is your love and attention. All my friends tell me they wish they had a cat just like him. So thank you for bringing us together. If you have a happy adoption tale, we would love to share your story. Please give us a call or email us like our friend Brittany. There are some great animals here at the Edmond Animal Shelter. They're well behaved, they're sweet and loving. The only thing they're missing is a forever home. That's where you come in. Perhaps you can give a dog or a cat the home they need and want. Come visit us at 2424 Old Timbers Drive. Check out the photos and bios of the animal at the shelter online by visiting our website, edmondok.com. You can also find us on Facebook. The precious animals here look forward to your visit.